The Legend of Mare-Do-Well by JD2K. Chapter 3. The Stingers and Serums. Pinkie's been acting mad strangely this week. Applejack mused, only to tap a huff against her cheek and wrinkle her brow for a second. Well, even more strangely than usual for her, I mean. Did you hear, darling, that I have heard that Mare-Do-Well must put down an incident over the bounty hunting last night? Verity added. Apparently, some bearded stallion with tinted glasses was positively livid about a score his team got against the other gals, and a nice blue-maned unicorn pony managed to help them win the game. You're sorry, right? That when he pulled out a crowbar at her and ordered her to score change back. Poor soul was obviously sauce for too much salt, they say. Oh yeah, then Mare-Do-Well came in, stared the guy down, he lunged at her, and she just started him with one good throw towards one of the lanes and hit a strike. I taught her that move. Iridescent beamed with pride as she hovered over their heads. That's right, and Mr. Kingpin bat Tiffany Honey, they say. I give that bite around 2 weeks tops. After all, dear little Scootaloo was allowed to return after doing some community service now. To see my sister and Appleboom really think cleaning the bowling balls and watching the alleys with under the kitty box. Preposterous! The fashionista scoffed. With those words, she finished eating her steamed yucca sauce and doused the remainder of her berry juice glass through a straw. Alisac, meanwhile, is nearly done with the stewed carrots, potatoes, and lentils, and apple cider. Rainbow Dad's already finished her with hay fries, an extra gravy appetizer, tofu burger with cheese entree, a chocolate mousse flavored chutney cake dessert, and a Neapolitan ice cream milkshake long ago, and hovers up out of them out of boredom. So, we know Pinkie's busy now, but why did Twilight Fluttershy join us for a little get-together? The farm pony asked. First, I supposed to get the FFA for us, giving her chiropractic massage therapy to that fearsome magical we met over a year ago, Verity says with a night twist, remembering how the same beast mussed up her mane that everlasting night. And the egg-headed Spike were called up to Caroline at the princess's request. Something really huge. Guess she'll tell us when we get back, the silent Pegasus muttered, blowing her lip on instinct. Looks like does it. Well, you know what to do, Rarity. You know how persuasive I can be, dear. It'll be easier than across it, the white unicorn responded with a glint in her eye. Mademoiselle Zitzek. The waiter at the open-air restaurant they were all eating at announced that as he dropped the aforementioned item from his mouth, leaves to attend to the other patrons. Alisac flips it over to the side and reads him out. Grunts angrily at Rainbow Dash above her. Now looky here, Sir Cube. There's a new rule whenever we go out. Each of us pays our own meal now, you hear? Since you hate the most out of all of us, you gotta fork over 30 bits for your bills. The Pegasus gulped to look his eyes. Oh, that reminds me. Seems the mayor wants me to inform the weather team to haul in some clouds to give some much-needed rain to the farlands. So, guess better get out of here before stuff starts drying up. Okay, bye! She quickly prepared to zoom off, before Applejack leapt up and bit her in the tail to haul her back in. Yow! Why is it always the tail? Senior man serves teeth, still climbing down the multicolored tail. Annoyed, Rainbow Dash muttered some words under her breath as she dropped to bits on the table. You happy? She said with a snort. Yeah, bitcha. Applejack says he spat out Rainbow's tail. The Pegasus finally flew off, grumbling a variety of expletives that the remaining ponies simply laughed. Before they could pay, they hear a far-off crash, followed by a stampede of ponies running towards the source of the noise. Applejack and Rarity looked at each other, placed their own bits on the table, and galloped towards the distance. A group of ponies murmuring and talking amongst themselves blocked the view as soon as the two element wheelers arrived on the scene. Fortunately, they managed to nudge close to the front of the group, aghast to their surprise. A large house, which has recently been condemned and was closest to a date being torn down, is now in shambles as wood, motor, and hay cones were everywhere. The site itself looked like as if a tornado touched down there. If any pony was inside when the whole structure fell, they wouldn't even be alive now. However, to the ghast of every pony present, out from the wreck came a snooty, dust-covered Mare-Do-Well, hat missing and cape slightly shredded, with two familiar troublemaking colts he placed on her back. Stiff as nails are both slightly dazed, but otherwise well alive. Lying down to take the two colts off her back, with a hint of sharp jerking forward, Mare-Do-Well once again stands triumphantly in front of her grateful townsponies, who immediately go wild with their cheers. Alice and Rarity look at each other, then back to their friend as they gave her a small smile. Mare-Do-Well sees them. It gives them one silent nod, before she stands up to attention for a few seconds, looks in the direction of the ever-free forest. Without a second to spare, she hopped on a nearby cart, up to an awning to receive great altitude on the rooftop, and makes her departure. With her gone, Applejack goes towards Snips and Snails and demands, "Now, what are lazy what you two boys doing in that old house? Didn't you realize you could have gone unanswered, or worse?" The sore, plumper member of the duo immediately apologizes. "We're sorry, Miss Applejack. It's just that dumb Snails." He then pushes his taller friend forward as he runs off. Snails looks around confusion. Well, we wanted to find some treasure we heard was in there, but when we began to dig, we sort of knocked over some big wooden board and the entire place shook." Applejack sighed. "So Mare-Do-Well showed up, hauled you two up, and tried to find a safe spot. The whole place went down. Take it? You two are going to be granted. Wait till we tell your parents." The farm pony went to the side. His two ponies nodded at once, and went after Snips. Another pair crowded around Snails as they marched him home. With the crisis done, the crowd dispersed, and only the element holders remained. "I guess I'll head back to the farm to wake her its well," the farm pony said as he left. She then turned her head and looked and mentioned, "And I'll wager you're getting a special visitor soon to ask for repairs, if you get my address." Rarity sighed in response. "I'll go make up a new hut in the meantime." She stopped and wondered to herself, "But why is she heading into the next end of the forest?" Yeah! One good neck twist later, and the manticore goes down. Fluttershy pants. A sweat runs down her forehead as she wipes it off. The bear was one thing, but this was far more an unwilling customer as he had to pull off at the stops to pinpoint the exact trouble spots in her friend's body. It took well over an hour, with him being very unwilling to subject herself to her hose on approach. But it was done. She fluttered up to his back and softly places her hose on his back and begins to very much to his content purring.
"You really should have come see me sooner. All this stress on your back and tail must have been so troubling,"
she says sweetly as the manticore suddenly turns around, causing her to yelp and jump down. She then giggles softly, seeing his exposed tummy at her.
"Oh, you big silly."
She responds with a smile. She gets on his stomach and softly scratches it. The manticore purrs even louder as he waves his paws, scrubbing it around like a newborn kitten.
"Who's a big, strong manticore? Yes, you are. Yes, you are."
She baby talks at him. The manticore kept purring happily until the ear starts to flick. His smile fast as he turns to stand on his legs, causing Fluttershy to yelp again. Puts himself in battle stance and begins to growl angrily. Yellow Pegasus becomes worried over the sudden mood swing of her friend, till she too begins to hear a low buzzing sound, and people shriek in horror.
"Oh my, I thought they were already full, but they're coming. Oh dear, oh my goodness."
She whimpers as she finally begins to hide behind her friend. Just as she feared, the buzzing grows louder and louder, until a group of shadows appear in the sky. A flock of 10 strange flying creatures that look like giant mosquitoes with more reptilian heads. A set of 4 leathery wings that flap with such speed it produces a buzzing sound. Extremely sharp pointing proboscis, the size of an average foal. Ponies learn that they should be careful if they hear that familiar, haunting buzzing, as it belongs to a creature that is able to suck the blood off of any creature, killing it slowly and painfully. Worse if they hunt in flocks or storms as he now witnesses.
"Sturgis!"
Fluttershy cries out as he huddles into a ball. The manticore roars loudly in response as the airborne, blood-sucking predators as they begin to immediately swoop down to feed. The beast manages to stab the first incoming Sturge with its tail, killing it with its deadly venom and tossing the lifeless body aside, and smacks another with a paw that merely stuns it. The manticore takes to the air as he goes after the rest of the flock, as the Sturges themselves go off in the offensive as well, separating his concentrated group. The blood-sucking vermin fly past their larger foe, beating their scaly but speedy wings close to the manticore's body. The beast roars in pain every time they do due to their spines, despite being small, become dangerously at close range due to the speed in which they fight them. Nevertheless, he will protect Fluttershy even if he ends up dying. His undying loyalty to the small, dainty Pegasus will always go before anything else. Despite limited intelligence, the Stardust flock decides to change targets and zero in on Fluttershy, still huddling in a small ball, shaking nervously on the ground below, sensing easier prey. The Manticore roars angrily at the brazen cowardice to attack his defenseless friend and swoops down, managing to grab the first Stardust about to plunge his proboscis into her back, landing with a tremor on the ground and crushing it upon impact, tossing what remains of the body away. He placed his body over Fluttershy's as a shield. 8 left. So preoccupied is the Manticore protecting Fluttershy as he swats his paws and swings the tail to prevent the Stardust from attacking the front. He never realized a couple of them away from the central flock in order to beat at his defense, went forward in a feint. A loud thunk over a painful roar later, both Sturges plunged their beaks into the Manticore's back and latched onto their sharper fangs, pincers as they began to suck the Manticore's blood. The mighty beast tried to swing its tail to detach them, but it was impossible with even more Sturges flying about, and he fears exposing Fluttershy. Starting to grow weaker and weaker by the second, having its blood drain, he eventually gives up, and hopes his blood will be more than enough to quench the entire flock and leave his friend alone. Fluttershy finally snaps out of her shock, seeing how the Manticore was willing to sacrifice itself to keep her safe from harm.
You will not hurt my friend!
She screams with increasing intensity. The fear suddenly giving way to anger as he gritted her teeth, knocking down some Sturges out of the way, giving the duo sucking up her best friend's blood with a good bucket of her hose. Blows strong enough to send them flying into a nearby tree trunk and knocking them down on the sudden impact. 6 left. This, however, got to the attention of the remaining flock as they dived at her. Fluttershy's initial bravery soon faded as he realized he can't stand against a whole group of deadly bloodsuckers. Simply hovered there as she covered her eyes with her hose and whimpered in fear. The 6 remaining members of the flock aimed their proboscis directly at her and her comatose Manticore. There was no way out. Suddenly, a figure jumped ahead of Fluttershy, causing her to open her eyes and sees Mare-Do-Well tuck her body into a ball while in the air, throws itself towards the strange flock, causing it to scatter on impact. One Sturge, laying on the floor after the blow, got a kick out of her newly strengthened hind hooves and was sent flying out of the area. 5 left. Fluttershy lands next to Mare-Do-Well, flustered and frightened.
Mare-Do-Well, please save the Manticore. I don't want him to die. You have to save him for me, please.
Mare-Do-Well nodded her head once and then pointed to the side, informing her to escape. Just then, the flock finally regained their senses and counterattacked, making Mare-Do-Well leave her friend's side and attack as well. Fluttershy bit her lip, and her hose began to shake in nervousness. What can she do? It's too far away to return to Ponyville. Mare-Do-Well was too interested by the like of a cat, torn cape, slightly tearing body movements. Finally, she gasps as she gets an idea. Without a second to spare, she flies away from the stirred swarm, towards the only other soul who can help them. Mare-Do-Well didn't even know Fluttershy going into the forest. She was too busy fighting off the sturge flock. The super mare dealt with her aggressors with ease, and some good well-placed bucks finds it hard to catch all of them as when they aim for the beast next to her. It didn't help matters as she already had slight injuries she received earlier on after pulling back a muscle, carrying Simpson's sails as the condemned house was going down. She was lucky she stuffed them and herself into an open fireplace, which was the only item standing long enough after the house fell, and pushed them out the chimney to follow suit. During both phases, though, she was raked with deep scratches against certain rocks in the fireplace interior was built, with which they were slightly jagged, both of these 2 injuries affecting her fighting heavily. Energy she knows she can never run out of, but telling that to her body as these injuries from before, added with rapid wing slashes and beak stabs from the surge flock, and she knew she was outclassed. But her strength just isn't enough to help her there, only she had other resources. Finally, One good flyby slash provides the surge to sneak up on Mare-Do-Well, plunge its sharp proboscis into her back, causing her to shriek in pain and makes noise for the first time since donning the mantle of the hero. She tries hard to shake out the surge on her back, but the filthy insect was latched on tightly, which hurt her back even more. Suddenly, her never-ending energy started to falter and she started to grow dizzy. The loss of blood is rapid and painful. She then sees four stinkers finally land on the manticore. They too start to feed. Pinkie Pie rapidly loses consciousness as her energy is slowly sapped away. Several thoughts quickly go through her head. How her friends would mourn her death. How the ponies would grieve over the fallen hero. And how she would look cute in her burial shroud. And how she wishes she could have given her friends instructions on how her wake should be celebrated in her memory. Finally, everything starts to get black as her other senses start to fade. She thinks she hears a gallop of hoofbeats, feels something powdery land on her nose, and the buzzing of surges grow loud, only to fade slowly. Simple hoof nuts is the last sensation she feels before she fully faints away. Her eyes slowly open, and the first thing she feels is the sweet, soothing aroma to her side. Nudging her eyes sideways, she notes a beautiful tribal marked clay pot with several unknown roots and leaves seeping in a strange liquid over a small fire. The fumes of this weird blend is what she's smelling. As soon starts feeling relaxed as she lets off a content sigh. I see you finally awakened. I feared your life you had forsaken, said a familiar voice to her ears. Standing upright, only to wince in pain, she caught sight of Sakura the zebra and finds she is inside her hut in the forest. The mysterious herbalist immediately frowns. Now, you mustn't stir. Your body is healing, as it were, she warns with concern. She quickly lies back down, and Sakura walks off. As she does, she resumes talking. You were truly fortunate I was home, for here I was reading a nature tome. Then suddenly through my door to my awestruck eye came the frightened, desperate form of Fluttershy. She informs me of the horrible event, so I gathered my things and off we went. We arrived as the ghastly surges were in their meal. Fortunately, I knew the proper way to deal. A powder mixture I had cooked, flung in the air, and off they booked. We expected you, and the unfortunate beast. We were alive, you both were alive at least. The Pegasus stayed to nurse her friend, while I brought you here, so I could tend. No sound. Sakura poked her head with worry. What is this? Not a beat? Silence is not good to keep, Mare-Do-Well. You must not be shy. She then lowered her eye with a comforting smile. Or perhaps I shall call you Pinkie Pie. At that, Pinkie gets up with a gasp, only to wince in pain. She then realized her Mare-Do-Well costume was gone. All she saw on her body were tightly bound bandages around her back and waist, several smaller ones adorning her hooves and other parts of her body where the surges had cut her.
Sakura, you know who I am, but how?
Pinkie asked nervously. Be at ease, my dear. There's nothing else to fear, as there's nobody else here. I admit I was very surprised when I removed the mask and saw you disguised. Fluttershy told me your story, how you fight for right and not for glory. I swear my life and I decree your secret identity will be safe with me.
But where's my uniform? Where's Fluttershy? How long have I been here? Do the kings know where I am?
Her nervous inquiry ends, however, as her tummy began to growl. She looked up sheepishly.
Do you have anything to eat?
Sakura laughed softly and shakes her head. Despite her acts of heroism, she is still deep down the same old pink party pony she had known for a year. Your curiosity I will comply, and your questions I shall reply. Let me first fetch you a home-cooked treat, so you can have something tasty to eat. Nothing could have prepared the zebra for the truth, behind the tales of Pinkie Pie's legendary appetite. No sooner had she put down a bowl of the root stew she had prepared for the both of them, than the pink earth pony downed it in one gulp and asked for seconds. By now, this was the 11th, and she was still hungry. Sakura at least was thankful the pot was empty, so she couldn't eat any more. But that meant she had nothing to eat, and that made her a bit upset.
Your swishy stuff is so tasty. Just as good as that one buffalo tried near Appaloosa made. So yummy and delicious and good.
Pinkie giggles.
So, what happened after you found me?
The zebra begins her recollection of the past events as she closes her eyes. "After I brought you here to hear and rest, there soon came an unexpected guest. It was your friends who came here fast, after Fluttershy's problem was long past. To you they were all desperately sick, but I told them my treatments would do the trick. You then decided the way to explain your absence, to keep their wits and stay on balance." Sakura opens her eyes, and is surprised to see Pinkie bouncing the balls she ate out of her nose, and she hums them joyfully. The zebra was stunned. How could she act so aloof and carefree 1 second, but become focused and a force of justice the next? "That's Pinkie." She shook her head once and resumed. "Rarity took the uniform for her to repair, while Friday went to the baker to deal with the affair. She had to stretch quite a bit of truth, but the plausible lie went in smooth. They believed you to a faraway party you went unattended, and decided to leave your vacation extended. As for the time you spent here with me, I believe 2 weeks have passed, going on 3.
3 whole weeks?
Pinkie gasps as the bowl lands on her face, her focus being disturbed from bouncing it. "You are quite a wreck from that attack. You had fields of cuts and broke your back. I then employed many a cure for your back, a Palsina salve for most pure. For the cuts, many ointments and bandages were wrapped. I placed special rope by your side while you napped. Now I can see you all here firm and fit, quite healthy and happy as well, I admit. Despite not moving and eating in 3 weeks, you have rested. Your bones are strong and muscles firm. I feel they are not to be tested. I guess at this you must depart, but rest assured, your secret's safe in my heart." Pinkie grinned from ear to ear.
Thanks very much, Sakura. I feel oodles better now. I guess I better go back and pick up my costume for Rarity and head to Chicken Corner.
She then gets up and skips towards the door. Sakura nodded once and responds, "Farewell, my dear. You're always welcome here." Before she opens the door, Pinkie immediately starts to think.
You know, Pinkie, Sakura sure has a lot of cool stuff. After all, seeing Fluttershy's rooster his crow, he'll apple bloom for a carrying pox. She can help Mare-Do-Well out a lot.
The second voice that came same as the first speaks.
Yeah, that's a ticket. Sakura can also be my private doctor. She seems nice and after everything I've done saw of her. You know, it's not just my thing.
A third asks,
Fanny, is her baby going to have her first birthday soon? I wonder what sort of party I planned for her.
The first 2 voices in her head immediately shout,
Quiet, you!
The third eats and whispers,
Sorry.
They all speak decided, and using,
It's decided. Let's ask her. And Sakura?
Pinkie says as he turns around to see the zebra picking up the pot by the handle to clean. "Yes, something better than you. Is there anything I can do?" Zebra replies with her teeth, biting down on the pot's handle.
I was thinking, since you know I'm Mare-Do-Well, and I was wondering if you can help me with 2 things.
She replies, dragging her head front across the floor and the floor. "Speak, I am all ears. Relax and quell your fears," the zebra answered, after setting the pot down again.
Well, you see, it's like this.
Are you sure it's a good idea to return here? We're supposed to be grounded.
Snail said with worry, as he looks around the darkness for the night anytime someone showing up.
The dresser just has to be here. With the whole house gone, we can dig around for nothing to distract us.
Snips answered back, as he dug into the ground inside the area around the house once stood, all the debris having been cleared the last 3 weeks. Before they continued, they were immediately enveloped in a thick, odorless plume of smoke. The 2 colts began to cough.
What? What is this smoke? Where did it come from?
Snips yelled out.
We should get out of here. I don't want to eat Brussels sprouts for a whole month.
Snails wails as he starts to run away, only to collide against something wrong. The smoke quickly dissipates, and the 2 colts looked up and see Mare-Do-Well stand there, her hat back on her head, and bodysuit and cape fixed once more. She shook her head as the 2 young ponies, as she was silently scolding them.
Oh no! Mare-Do-Well! Run for it!
Snips screams as both he and Snails galloped away as fast as they could.
Snips, why are we running? She's going to find us, so we're going to be in more trouble.
Snails protest as they run.
Think about it, dummy. Mare-Do-Well can't harm us since we're kids. She can't hit us or do anything about it. How else is she going to stop us, huh?
Sniz answers with a slight smile. The two didn't notice a pair of pellets being thrown. The line in front of them, exploding and releasing a different cloud of smoke once the two absorbed. They began to cough again, until they both moved with groggy steps, and finally lose consciousness. Atop another rooftop, Mare-Do-Well stands there, holding one of the pellets he threw in her hoof, before slipping it back in the pocket of her new utility saddlebags, with each monogram of familiar Raised Brew M hidden under her cape. Rarity was all too happy to create a brand new accessory for Mare-Do-Well, which he later filled with a variety of pellets and powders he personally asked Sakura, her new private healer, to make for her. The smoke screen pellets made for making entrances and exits, as well as attacking foes as they find her in thick mess. And her knockout pellets worked like a charm. With these and other tools at her disposal hidden in her bags, she now prepared for almost anything offensively. Things are going to get a lot smoother for her from now on. The Legend of Mare-Do-Well trots along.